Hey, we are live. It's the Over Under podcast on a Sunday night. A lot to talk about when it comes to the NBA playoffs, which begin tomorrow. Of course, the NHL playoffs continuing today, and some other stuff happening in the world, too. I know some people are betting on baseball. There's a game I think might have been underway right now, right? If I'm not mistaken. So hopefully everybody got those fade the Red Sox bets in. I may have just missed my. Okay, I may have missed my my start time to get in there tonight. But you know what, Dan? It's been a pretty good week for us.
Yeah,
you
can bet it live.
Well, I just would like to start by saying that at times people question people's credibility, and we post all our picks. We discuss our picks on the air. They're tracked at the Action Network as well. So, for some people who think we're not 60%, you know what? You were right. We're not 60. We were 70% this week. Is that math correct, or am I wrong about that?
One pick pending. No, you're correct. 70.4%. Excuse me. And if I lose the Yankees minus 0.5 F5, then we will be at 67%.
Okay, well that's still pretty good. Just I just want to continue to preach accuracy. I would like to preach that we've been doing a podcast now for almost 3 seasons. I think we started 2 seasons ago. I'm trying to think of what year that was. It's 20. We started in 2018.
I think 2018. Yep, 2018.
I think we started August of 2018, and now we're in August of 2020. So that's 3 years that we've been doing a gambling podcast, and we have been on the morning show in Boston for about 3 years, and now it just seems like everybody's doing a gambling bit somewhere around radio these days, Dan.
Yeah, I believe that the whole premise of their gambling bit is fading guys named Sergey, because that's a really good gambling strategy, actually. That's going to make you a lot of fucking money.
Well, I mean, I do things too. No offense. I do some things too, just to...
Do you fade guys named Sergey in a sport you know nothing about?
No, and listen, I'm bitter. It was brought to our attention that somebody came out and spoke about us, and
we're not going to say any names. We're not going to give them the time of day. I believe that's what.
Okay, yeah, that was it. Yes. That was the line there. My whole thing though is, Dan, like, we got a tweet today. We have to start here. This tweet today, you sent it to me, and I think it really bothered you. I was flattered, by the way. Very, very, very flattered. But the tweet today was, regarding legalized gambling or whatever. And we'll get into the good stuff. People love juicy gossip. So I figured we could just share this for a little bit. It's arguable that you and Joe are the most famous people associated with sports gaming in the entire state. Whoa.
Listen, it's a compliment, but the problem is that, first off, I don't buy that. So I don't want that responsibility, I guess, is kind of my problem. But I appreciate the sentiment from the guy. And I think I overreacted. I got mad. And I will openly say that. I got mad. Because what the next part is kind of fucked up.
It's flattering. I mean, it's flattering that people heard sports gambling talk first on 98.5 The Sports Hub, right? I mean, isn't that generally the first? I mean, it's not a new thing, people talking gambling on the radio. It's not a new thing. It's just a new thing that it was, I don't know, a segment. That's fairly new. But it's arguable that you and Joe are the most famous people associated with sports gaming in the entire state. It's kind of sad you're taking a lackadaisical tone rather than being more vocal. I'm absolutely certain a state rep would be happy to listen to the given size of your audience. Dan, I remember one day you sat on the radio and yelled, and you said people aren't getting paid off, and you told them that was stupid. I mean, I heard you. You went off.
How many times did I say that the people who work for the state are fucking morons? I'll say it again. If you're a state rep and you have something to do with gambling, fuck you. You're a fucking moron. There you go. And I'll say it to his face too. I don't really give a shit. But I'm also, and I think that Joe agrees with this, I'm not really a political person. I like to make fun of people who kind of do all the politics stuff. But I'm not really a political person. And so therefore, I'm not really going to, feel fucking bad about going and arguing about state legislature. Like I don't give a shit about that. That's not what I want to do.
Listen, we want sports betting to be legal here so we can all just do it and not have it to be like, oh, check out this book or that book and read the notes and we want to hang out with you all and bet all day. And do it down the street. You know what I mean? We don't have to drive to a bodega in Salem, New Hampshire, or go up to Nashua at the Chicken Shack, or go to Headlines at the Bong Shop. You know what I mean? I want to just do it in our backyard. That'd be fun. Anyways, it's all your fault, Dan Lifshatz, that you're not sitting outside of State Hall with picketing out there saying, make this legal. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. But really, I don't know. I mean, should we consider ourselves the OG of sports gambling? We're the OGs. We're the bankroll boys. But are we the OG?
No,
we were the first. We were the first to do a gambling show and a gambling pod. I mean, I don't know. We were called the Bankroll Boys, which we didn't call ourselves that.
Toucher and Rich dubbed us that.
But then I heard that there's these guys called the Payout Boys, and I was like, where did they get that idea?
Oh, very original.
Where did that come from? Anyways, I'm bitter. Someone called me out, almost by name, but didn't want to give me the time of day. Thinks I stole their bit, yet you were listening to our show on the way to do yours. And I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. And listen, it's fine. It just came to my attention. And Oakley dokley, everything's fine. We're going to continue to do our damn show, and we'll move on from it, Dan. All week long, I've just been thinking about it, and I apologize.
Did you know that you know he's writing a book about Tuukka Rask, Joe? Oh. Did you know that he's writing a book with Tuukka Rask? I had no idea.
And quickly, our boy Nick Cattles, nothing to do with it.
Nope.
Rich Keefe, our boy, nothing to do with it.
Nope.
Just listen. I don't know you. You don't know me. Just let's not talk about each other. How about that? I wasn't listening. I don't listen. We gave out a stupid pick about ping pong. I didn't know that you were this ping pong god. If I knew, maybe I would have heard about it and followed you, but I didn't. I haven't listened to you. I'm sleeping when you're on. I go home. I'm on 6 to 10. I go home. I go to the beach. So I don't steal anything. Dan doesn't steal anything. Dan's Korean soccer bets, when we do these picks, we don't even know. I don't know what he's picking. Dan didn't. You know what, Dan? It's your fault. You didn't show up, and I got stuck with it. And now
I agree with that. Actually, I agree with that. That is.
And you know what happened? I went to my phone, and I go, "What can we talk about today?" And then it just landed. I flipped the coin, and I go, "Oleg, let's bet that guy." That's literally what happened. So I'm sorry that there was no, research into it. I'm sorry. It was. Moving on. It's just please don't fucking flatter yourself. How about that? I don't fucking listen to your show.
I didn't
know who the fuck you are.
I didn't know.
Do I know how to say that any more clear? I'm sorry. And listen, I didn't hear it. No, somebody just said,
"Hey, Joe, did not know the person who was talking when
I'm not knocking anybody. I support everybody that discusses gambling. I support, unless you talk shit about us. I support everybody that does it. And listen, we're just two. You want to shit on us? You want to? Do you want to do the
Friday, M&M? How many gambling podcasts did how many gambling podcasts did I tweet out on Friday?
You said a bunch. You said a bunch of guys that you like.
A bunch of them. Because we support them.
I support everybody. I want everyone to do a gambling podcast. Let's all win money and win locally. I'm not stealing your shit. You're not stealing. But when you start doing shit and calling us out, it sounds like you stole our bit. It's just, come on. Let's not do that. Right? Let's just not do that. Anyways, hi, we're the Bankroll Boys. So quickly, I just wanted to state a couple of things. Last night, UFC fighting. Did you watch, Dan? Did you see the championship fight?
No, I did not.
Okay. I'll give you the rundown quickly.
I heard it sucked.
Cormier looked out of shape, and Stipe did nothing. I think Stipe should have won the fight. Let me just say that. But he did nothing to win the fight. He didn't knock him out. He didn't get a few extra jabs and nothing. What happened was Cormier got actually poked in the eye and fucked up his eye. He hung in there the whole entire time. I think the judges should have given him consideration for that. I think he should have got a pat on the back for getting poked in the eye and going through it. So I hit the over, lost the Cormier fight, and then I lost O'Malley, who broke his foot. Everything else, clean sweep. Yankees in the over, continues, right? Yep. Fading the Red Sox in the okay. Rockies hit yesterday. What'd you hit? We had some hockey bets. So remember you said don't take Colorado? Boom. That worked out.
Yep.
The Grizzlies. You were all over that one.
Again, the whole world's going to be on the side. I think we went, 2-2 yesterday? We should have gone 3-2 because we got a rain out first 5. It was 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. It was again, things going to happen. It looked pretty good. So it wasn't my best ever. But, 2-2 yesterday. If you ended up playing any of the other ones, you did pretty well. And again, we're not going to count those towards the record because that's where shit is unfair. To say, I liked the Coyotes. Okay, you liked them. You didn't fucking say they were playing. So that's not fair to just, count it towards the record. So that's exactly what we don't do. We only play and count towards the record stuff we post and stuff that is literally, on the podcast. That's it. Other than that, I don't post. Joe, if you say, I like the Yankees tonight, unless you post a play, I don't count it towards the record. So all the Yankees and the over stuff, I didn't even count towards the record. We probably, if you're following that, is like 75%. But we have to be fair. And I think that is transparency to me is important. Transparency to you is important as well. So, let's just continue doing that. But yeah, we did well. But in terms of the podcast, I think we went 2-2 on the pod yesterday, I believe.
Okay. Okay, let's move on from the good stuff. What do you want to do first? Because I know the NBA opens up tomorrow.
I want to discuss the Bruins.
Okay, yeah. You know what? Let's get into it and just quickly. Let's catch everybody up on the standings because I know it's Sunday nights and people are settling in. They're just tuning in and maybe they're at doing whatever they do all week. And it wasn't really a great beach weekend, even though we're going to the beach this upcoming week. Nice. Yeah, next week it should be interesting. Me and Dan are going to be down at Cape. Yeah. The Bankroll Boys do the Cape.
Yeah, Bankroll Boys take the Cape.
yeah, that should be fun. Maybe we can bet on how many sharks we see. I'm going to go over under 0.5.
I'm going under. I'm going to go under.
Going under too.
I'm taking under. Yeah, I'm not Zolak. I'm not scared.
All right, Dan. Islanders, dude. Islanders, man.
Yep. Up 3-0 in the series.
Take the lap.
I want them to close it out first. It's a 3-0 lead. They look like the better team. Outside Ovechkin, the Capitals look slow. They didn't have Backstrom today, which obviously hurt them quite a bit. I kind of what I thought. I thought the Capitals would be a slow starting team because of the fact that, they're a little bit older and the Islanders were smoking hot. And, I think that played a big part of it. I also just think that the Islanders are incredibly underrated. They're 35, 33, and 10. I actually thought they were much better than that during the season. So I thought quite a bit. I thought they were going to be a tough out if they got to the playoffs. And, here they are doing damage to the Capitals in the first round. The Stars won today in overtime. They absolutely deserve the W, by the way. 100% deserve that W. When you give up a goal in the final few seconds of the game, you lose that game, in my opinion. So they ended up losing in overtime 5-4. That series is tied 2-2. It looks like a series that's going 7. And, it's going to be whoever happens to win that series. We got Flyers, Canadians later tonight. That's 1-1. Game 3 in the Blues Canucks. Vancouver leads 2-0. And right now, the Golden Knights and Blackhawks are in Game 4, and the Golden Knights lead that series 3-0. I liked Chicago tonight. Did not play them, despite the fact they're up. The other series, the Coyotes win a game final yesterday, so they're down 2-1 in that series, and the Lightning. And then there's the Bruins, Joe. There's the Bruins, okay? And yesterday, I think we talked about a few days ago how I like the Bruins to win the series, but I didn't want to lay the minus 160. I thought that value is pretty much gone. Minus 140, something around there. By the way,
I got it at 140.
Okay, great. So right around there, I had it up to 143 was the line I would take it to. After that, I really didn't think that I would do that. Okay, I didn't think I would take it. There wasn't any value there for me personally. Yesterday morning, 2 hours before the game, we find out that Tuukka Rask has opted out with the Bruins. Now, you guys all saw my tweets yesterday. One of them apparently went viral. I got a lot of shit for it. And people were very angry about the fact that I am out on Tuukka Rask. And my answer to you is, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. And this is why. I have been a supporter of Tuukka Rask. And for the most part, there have been times where I've been down on him. Joe had a take the other day that Tuukka Rask did not try on a goal that to me I felt was unstoppable. Dougie Hamilton shot from the dot. It was in the perfect slot. Nothing that Rask can do. The next day, he goes after the game and says, I don't really care.
It's dull without fans.
It's dull without fans.
And he doesn't really take it as seriously as
I'm not worrying about the results, yada, 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 all that bullshit, okay? To me, Rask should not have said that. Not a great move by him. But you know what? That's not super abnormal for his time in Boston, so it wasn't that concern. Here's my problem with Rask, and I'm going to clarify for everyone out there. If you opt out in the middle of a series and it's not a family emergency, go for it. I don't feel bad for you. I do not I do not, want to hear the bullshit complaining. Family first. You know what? You're an athlete. You're a fucking athlete. And you get paid $7 million to do a job. You've been doing shit with your team all year long. I understand. Every single guy in that fucking bubble, every single guy has a team, has a family. Every single fucking guy has a family. What the fuck, dude?
Hey, Dan, can you say again at the beginning? Any play? It was the connection was a little spotty there.
Okay.
What'd you say about any player that opts out on his team at this point? What'd you say there?
I'm out on them. I'm out on them.
Okay, you're out.
I have no fucking apologies. I have no fucking interest in supporting a guy like Tuukka Rask, and I've supported Rask quite a bit. No matter what has happened. But you know what? I'm done supporting Rask. I want him off the Bruins. I want him traded. You give me a fucking bag of pucks, I'll take it. Fuck him. If you're not ready to go to war after you've signed up for war, and again, if there's an emergency, it's totally different. Something happened with your family, I get it. I think everyone would understand that. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to understand that. But if you quit in the middle of a series, not after the series, not, hey guys, I made it through the series, I can't do this anymore. Okay, that's also different. In the middle of a series, fuck you. I don't have compassion for a guy like that. I'm sorry. Every single guy in the bubble is going through things. Every single guy, every single player has a family. Every single one is having trouble being away from their family. I know that, every single NBA athlete, every single baseball player on the road, everyone has trouble, being away from their family. No, not acceptable. Not by my standards. Tuukka Rask, you left the Finnish team. You bailed out with your little tummy ache on the centers. Strike 3. 3 strikes. You're fucking out. In my book, get the fuck out of the Boston Bruins. I don't want him. I don't want him playing. I don't care if he's the number 1 goalie in the goddamn league. If he can't play when it's most important, what's the point of having the player? Honestly, it just doesn't matter. I'm out on Tuukka Rask. I don't want to hear anything else about it, okay? I get that the guy is a very good player. You will never hear me say that Jarl Halask is a better goalkeeper than him. You're an idiot if you say that. Honestly, Jarl Halask is not a better goalkeeper than Tuukka Rask. When Tuukka Rask is playing at his best, he is fantastic. But 3 strikes and you're out, dude. Out. You do no longer get the benefit of the doubt. And again, if it comes out that it's a family issue and a family emergency, then I will apologize and say, I'm sorry, Tuukka Rask. You know what? You have every right. But outside of a family emergency, I'm a guy who likes to keep my commitment. I would keep to my commitment and he doesn't, and I know whatever I say doesn't mean a fucking thing, but he has to answer to his teammates. He has to answer to his coach and his fucking GM. The end. Okay? I'm out on Tuukka Rask. Trade him. I want him gone. I want him sent to fucking Siberia. Go to Edmonton. Play with the fucking Oilers. Go play with Connor McDavid. I'm out.
Seattle. You put him in the expansion draft.
Fine. Whatever. Go have fun with Antifa. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Just out. I'm out.
All right. So here we go. Everybody's loving this, Dan.
And by the way, the Rask thing drastically affects my odds.
Yeah. So
in my opinion, the Bruins are maybe minus 120. They got their emotional win in Game 3. If I'm them, I'm going Hurricanes Game 4. You got your emotional win. Now you're going to be coming off that emotion. You got your emotional victory. The next game, that's going to be a real problem for the Bruins. Game 4 is a huge, huge problem to me. I'm very worried about the Bruins now. Very worried. And if I could change my pick, I'm taking the Canes in 7 now because your massive edge was with the goalkeeper. And Halak is better than Mrazek and Reimer, but not that much better. The difference is not that much better. And for all you guys say Rask sucked last year, Rask was the reason you made it to the Stanley Cup last year. Do not get it mistaken. Rask was the reason you made it there. He was amazing. Even in the Game 7, not his fault. Absolutely not. So I'm sorry. Your edge in the series is evaporated. It's gone.
I'll save my Tuukka stuff for tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on Toucher and Rich.
That's fair. I think I've said enough.
I think you've said enough. Has the series line changed at all? The odds for the series, and I'll just ask this: I was super impressed with the Bruins yesterday.
Me too.
And Dan, all right, okay. I'm going to say this on our podcast. I wouldn't say this on the air.
Me too.
But I think the players might have been upset with Rask. And they might have gotten behind. They might have been motivated a little bit.
Yesterday's performance, it felt like they played for Yarrow, and they have all season. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how the players felt. I'm not going to pretend to sit here like I do. I'm not going to pretend to sit here like I know what happened with Rask because I don't. Again, family emergency. You got to do what you got to do, man. Your family comes first. I fully agree. Get out of there, 100%. But barring that coming out, it's not okay with me. I'm a guy who likes to, you join a team, you play with your teammates. It's a team sport. It's a grind. 82 games. People don't understand that. So what I will say is, I think I would be very much inclined to take the Hurricanes Game 4. I probably will be taking the Hurricanes Game 4 coming off the emotional victory by the Bruins, in which they deserve the win. And I would say that if the Hurricanes tie it up, you'll see the series absolutely swing in terms of the odds. When Rask opted out, the odds went from plus 120 Carolina to minus 110 across the board.
I have my locals odds right now. If you like the Hurricanes to win this series, plus 245 today.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that's a PP, but I'm definitely not against that. I think the Bruins have lost their biggest edge. And again, all the Tuukka Rask haters out there can tell me he sucks, he's this, he's that, he's not good.
Oh, come on, Tuukka's good. We all know he's good.
He's fantastic.
He's the best goalie they have. The best goalie they had. He just hasn't won a big game, or the big game.
He hasn't won the big game. He's won plenty of big games.
And it's disappointing. He's the most to me, Dan. He's the most polarizing figure in Boston sports. We've had David Ortiz. We've had Tom Brady.
Jason Tatum and Caleb Brown.
No, but what I mean by polarizing is he's the most. He's right now. I mean, Tuukka Rask is way. I mean, Tatum's going to be there. Okay, I'm just saying right now, Tuukka Rask is a Vezina winner. Was on the best team in the league. Was in a Game 7 of a finals. Has won a Stanley Cup, even though he wasn't the goaltender. Like, he went from losing a 3-0 series, bouncing back to going to a Stanley Cup and winning a Stanley Cup, even though he wasn't the guy. All I'm trying to tell you is this. In this city, he's the one guy that has been the most consistent. What I mean by most consistent, the guy doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care at all. Win or lose, he gets his paycheck and he goes home. I just feel like that team, when Bergeron's out there playing with broken ribs and Chara's old ass is out there, but he continues to play hard, and these other guys are out there risking it all. I mean, the Campbells of the world playing with broken legs and the Nathan Hortons who couldn't play for reasons like that. And Pasternak's a different story, which we'll get into in a second. The thing with Rask is, if he cared a little bit, would he be a better player? If he cared a little bit, would they have been a better Bruins team?
Yeah.
And I give him the right to opt out. It's just a terrible fucking look that he can never, ever, ever bounce back from in this town.
Okay, and I want to address some of the comments here.
Yeah,
so
Chris
from Plainville says best defensive team in the league. Well, Vegas fucking disagrees with you, Chris. They disagree with you. They don't agree with you.
Well, I don't think they are either.
And Chris, this is not to pick on you because I like you, Chris, but Vegas says you're fucking wrong. And Jay Morella, Yarrow is Tuukka's 1A. They'll be fine. Well, how come they were dropped 25 cents on the series line before Game 3? So again, Vegas values Tuukka Rask 25 cents higher than Yarrow Halask in a series. So that's what? 5 to 10 cents per game. That's a big fucking difference. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So you guys are wrong. Don't tell me that he isn't valued and that the team will be fine. You're wrong. You're wrong. And Vegas told you that yesterday. I know the Bruins won the game. You're wrong. You are flat out incorrect by how you value players. It doesn't matter the results. The value on the players. The value.
Well, I think
things have changed.
Well, let's talk about the value of David Pastrnak for a minute. So he skated today. He was out there. If I'm the Bruins, I don't play him in the next game.
And don't tell me Vegas is not always right. They've been doing this forever, and none of you guys can beat Vegas. There's about 5% of people who beat Vegas. 5%. Well, so don't tell me that Vegas is not always right. They're right 95% because 95% of the time they're going to beat you.
They're not always right, but if there's line movement, there's a reason, right? If things are changing, there's a reason. The better player does not always make the team better. It's fine. Where I'm going with the Pastrnak thing is this. The Bruins were 140, 150, 160. They were what? Minus 125? It changed a little bit there when Pastrnak was out. I don't have do we have the line for tomorrow, by the way?
The series price of Pastrnak did not move an inch.
Okay.
Did not move a single cent.
So
when Pastrnak was
I think they can win this series without David Pastrnak. That's my own opinion. The fact that what's his name? The SV guy got hurt.
Svechnikov.
Him being out, that's gonna. So what the Bruins doing? And I know this really isn't much about gambling. The Bruins are sending Carlo and Krug out at their Aho line. Okay, this gives Bergeron, Marchand, that top line, but really where it's dominating is the Krejci line. All of a sudden, Kasha's playing well, and they got something there. DeBrusk finally has been, close to the net. The fact that they are taking a little bit off of their defensive unit to have, and Carlo and Krug haven't been great. They were early on in that first game. They were, but they haven't been great. But the fact that they're easy to ease off that top line to focus more on scoring, it's really helped the top two lines. The top two lines are going to have to bail the Bruins out in this series. And they're going to have to probably do it without David Pastrnak. If it's me, Dan, I'm looking long-term here. Pastrnak skated today. He's going to be sore tomorrow.
I would not. I do not expect. I do not expect him to play in Game 4. Don't expect him to play. And so I do think that you have to say that. But on the other hand, Svechnikov is out for the series, and I think that in terms of value to a line, Svechnikov and Pastrnak are about as equal as you could possibly get. I think it's the top offensive player on both sides. I think Svechnikov obviously isn't quite as good as Pastrnak, but in terms of value to a line, they're about as similar as you can get. Okay. Maybe 5 to 4 cents, something along that line. So Svechnikov and Pastrnak being out, it helps the Bruins. The Bruins are going to be minus 130-ish tomorrow, I assume. I haven't looked at the line, but my assumption is that they're going to be minus 130-ish tomorrow. What I would tell you is there's no value on a Bruins minus 130 when you don't have your number one goalie. And I think they'll tell you that in the series price, which is $2.45. If you see the Canes win tomorrow, that series price will be minus 110. Both sides will be minus 110. So what I'm telling you is Svechnikov is a loss, and if the Bruins get back Pastrnak, again, you'll have a little bit of an edge there again offensively, but Tuukka Rask is a major blow to your value. Major. Don't get it twisted.
Major to the next round, the following round, winning the Stanley Cup.
I mean,
yes, I agree.
If you listen, common fans are going to say, whoop-de-doo, the Bruins are going to win the Cup without Tuukka Rask. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
We talked about players. Okay, I'm not comparing sports here, but I'm going to. In the NFL, the biggest name to opt out was Dante Hightower. In the NHL, Tuukka Rask, that's like, do you look at it? He's one of the top 10. Bust my balls on this one if you want. Tuukka Rask is probably one of the top 10 most important players in the league for his team. Bad take? No.
Yeah, I think that's a bad take. I don't think he's top 10. I'd say.
Oh, for his team, dude? For his team? Absolutely.
No, because of the top line in Boston is per value. Like for instance, I'd say you probably have 7 or 8 goalies that are more valuable to their team. You have McDavid, who's more.
I think Holtby is huge for his team, but they suck right now. And I think Holtby's been very good for his team.
Ovechkin is more. Again, I think Tuukka Rask is probably 25th in terms of value, but nonetheless, he is an incredibly important part to what the Bruins do. And again, I understand everyone's going to say, "Well, Halak this and Halak that." I like our Halak; he's a very, very good backup.
He's gone on a run before. I don't think they can win with him.
But if you're asking me the difference between Jaro Halak and Tuukka Rask in terms of a line, and you think they're similar, stop betting hockey. Honestly, you will lose your ass in a hot second if that's your take. I promise you.
I'll tell you right now. Hey Joe, what are the Bruins' chances to win the Cup? If Tuukka's in that, I think you have a great chance. If Halak's in that, I think you have way less of a chance.
Look at the futures. Look at how the futures moved after Tuukka Rask opted out. The Bruins went from one of the top 3 favorites to one of the middle 5 favorites. Again, and that has nothing to do with this round, because even if they get past Carolina, it doesn't matter. You still got to beat better teams going forward, hotter teams. I want people to understand. This is a gargantuan loss to the Bruins. Huge. This is not nothing. And for those people who say, "Oh, you're going to be fine with Halak," it's the same people who are sitting there telling me Portland is going to give the Lakers a series. The same fucking people. You guys react off emotion and not reacting based upon what actually is the actuality. You guys are fans and you're reacting based upon your fan knowledge and what you're seeing in front of you, and not based upon everything else. It's not false. Don't try and sit there and tell me it's false. When you hit 70% in a week over and over and over again, you can tell me.
Let me back you on that one. The Blazer, and we're going to talk NBA in a minute here. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
The Blazers were 6-point favorites yesterday. They haven't beaten anybody by 6 points. They didn't deserve to be 6 point. Now, granted, they came down to free throws at the end of the game or whatever. It would have been a push anyways. All I'm trying to say is, they really have. Dame's been unbelievable. He really has. The Blazers have been better. They got play from Carmelo Anthony. Okay, but I even thought about it for a minute. Like, maybe they can extend it to 6 games. Could they extend it maybe to 6 games?
No.
But the more I think about it, Dan,
We
they beat opponents they should have beaten, and they barely beat them. And they needed a literally an MVP outing from Damian Lillard to do it.
guys, you needed Karis LeVert to miss the shot.
Yeah.
If Karis LeVert doesn't miss the shot, we're not having this discussion. So, that's what I would tell you. Damian Lillard and that team has been a really fun story. And so are the Suns. Both teams are really fun stories. It doesn't mean that there's a value. And we'll get into that. But again, what I'll tell you is, if you're asking me the Bruins' chances to win the series, it's worse. It's far worse. If I had to switch my pick, if you put a gun to my head and say make a pick, I'm taking the Canes in 7 now. That's my pick. But and again, that's not that's a 1-game difference. Does Tuukka Rask make the difference in the game? In my opinion, yes, he does. But if you're asking, do the Bruins have a chance to win the Stanley Cup? No, they don't. And Jaro Halak is not going on a Tim Thomas type run. So you can sit there and tell me whatever you want. I'll sit here and I will go based upon, I won't act on emotion. I'm going to act on what I know, which is again the same thing over and over. Okay, this is how I operate. I'm going to tell you the same thing.
I agree with you. And if we're both wrong, we'll take the L.
Hell yeah.
We'll go Halakamania. We'll like, I don't know. We'll do something crazy. Maybe we'll we'll buy Halakamania t-shirts and I will cut
a promo to Jaro Halak and apologize to him myself. How about that? I will have Ty Anderson get me in contact with Jaro Halak. I will send a message and literally say, I'm sorry for doubting you. I'm a jackass. And I'll own it. I will gladly own it. I have no problem owning it. But what I'm going to tell you is right now, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
The Tuukka Rask leaving the team literally might have closed the window on the Bruins run. All right, Dan. So let's open up. Let's just look at some of there's a lot of comments, and I'm glad people have just been sending them in now.
And by the way, Jay Morella and Chris, I love you guys. I'm giving you a hard time because I think that you guys are acting on emotion right now. But I love you guys. I'm giving you a hard time. That's all. Because I'm trying to make my point. That's all.
All right, you can send in, you can tweet in. We're on Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. I'm glad people found us on YouTube, by the way. We're missing 10% Dan. Yes, he's losing weight. We had a great week. I kind of need to know. Oh, yeah. They're legit curious about who we're yelling at. Great job filling in. Thanks, guys. Yeah, example of those guys. Who called them out? I guess you got to go find out what happened there. Joe and Dan, it's all your fault for everything not being legal. I fade Vegas Dave in baseball. It's been pretty profitable. That's great to know.
He claimed to have gone 42 of 42 on parlays. It's pretty funny.
What is he even doing? If I went to, again, Dan, if I ever went 42 or 42,
how does he do it?
You would never see me again.
Yes, Maddie, we'll definitely get picks tonight.
I'd send you and your wife a card with a donation and be like,
how does he do it, man?
Peace out, bro. Like I'd be out, dude. I'd be see ya. You guys, I'd love everybody at the sports out. You wouldn't see me anymore if I went 42. You guys are slackers. They're joking though. Not your guys' job to fight for legislator, which you guys can figure it out. Bankroll Boys of Cash this week. Blackhawks. Dale.
We're not giving out names.
Lots of Dale Arnold tweets. If it was legal, the encore. Okay, yep. That's our boy Ben. Ned Flanders, yes. Angry Joe.
Angry Joe and Angry Dan. We both gotten angry this podcast.
UFC last night. Yeah, I went 2-2, but it won us money. Cape Cod Bound also. Yes, Brockton Bulls. What are they? Tailgaters. Okay, cool. Over under Sharks. Over 0.5.
Under.
Yeah.
Give me the under.
Cape Cod overrated. Ooh.
Oh, Jared, no.
So I live North Shore, and I'm at the North Shore beaches all the time. But my favorite weekend is going to Dennisport. It's my favorite weekend. How do you feel about the OKC series over here?
We'll get into it. We're going to get into it. Right. Don't worry.
Fuck the Flames. Yankees are already up 1-0.
Yes, they are.
Can we get an over-under meetup in New Hampshire? We can't right now, but yeah.
In the next few weeks, maybe Joe and I will try to put something together. That'd be fun.
Would you be pissed if you were Chauer and Bergeron? Obviously not in public, but time is running. That's how I feel. I feel like the window's closed.
I'd be furious. Again, a family emergency, no. Anything else, furious.
Do you play hard for Rask if you're a Bruin going forward? That's the word on the street.
That is a good question. It's a good question, Ben.
Dan is out on Tuukka. Joe is just sitting there. James Stewart. Dan is out on Rask.
Out on Tuukka.
Chris in Plainville loves the show. Out. All
right. Well, I'm
gonna say. Oh, you know what? We need out hats.
Oh yes.
And then what's it say here at the end? I'll just get to the end. Damian Lillard over on points. For the record, I don't blame you guys for anything. Okay, whatever that means.
All right. Ryan was the one who sent the tweet earlier.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay. I appreciate Ryan. I said earlier, I probably got a little too angry about that. And to be fair, but you said it's kind of fucked up. So I was kind of pissed, but like, listen, dude, like, I don't want to go and stand outside the Massachusetts State House and be like, legalize sports gambling. They're going to look at me and be like, you're some fat fucking degenerate. I don't give a shit about you. And honestly, are they wrong?
They're going to call the security and the cops right away when they see us.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways. Literally, they'll see us and be like, let's just call the cops. Let's not even deal with this. All right. So hockey, we think we're done. I think we're done, right?
Yeah, we're moving on to hockey. We're moving on from hockey.
We got about a half hour or so. So let's get into. Want to talk? What do you want to do first here?
We got 40 minutes. Let's get into the NBA series. Okay. What's
tomorrow? What's on first tomorrow? 1:30 Jazz Nuggets. Now, Mike Conley left the bubble. Is he going to play tomorrow?
No. So Conley is gone for his birth of his son. He is out for, I believe, 4 days if he tests correctly. So the first 2 games of the series, I believe he's gone.
Whoa.
At least. And again, I'd say he's questionable for game 3. He's definitely gone for the first 2 games. When you break the series down, Joe, and the series odds have shifted obviously since Conley went out. We're now looking at the Nuggets minus 310, Jazz plus 225. What I would say for Jazz backers here, Rudy Gobert has to shut down Jokic, and it's absolutely key to the series. I think the Jazz are being a little undervalued here. Conley, listen, I like Conley. I think Conley is a very, very good player. But I do think that plus 255, I think you're actually seeing some value on Utah at this point. You got in the 250s, Denver, but I think we're going the other way now. I still think that if you get neutral court, these teams play very, very tight. I'm going to take the Jazz in this one. Me personally, I'm not giving it as a play. I'm not recommending. I'm just saying, personally, if you're looking for an upset, I think the Jazz over the Nuggets is an upset you should look at, because Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, if they ball out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what else anyone on Denver does, because shutting down Jokic is imperative to that series. Very important. And Gobert has done a very good job.
I know, if there's things I know about the Jazz, no Boban, right? So Bogan Bogdanovic or whatever his name is. He's out. He hurt his wrist.
Bogdanovic is gone.
And Mike Conley's picked up the slack because he's been out. So you take that's 18 points a game, man, right there. Now the Jazz though are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league as far as making shots. I don't know, man. The more I look at this, it's probably Denver, because they're a little undermanned Utah. But the line's the line for the reason. And I think I bet that game this year. They played each other.
What I'd say again is, let's also not forget, they have Jordan Clarkson, who has been really, really good in the bubble. And he can play point guard. Mitchell can play point guard. They will find a way if they need to go big. Rajon Tucker at shooting guard, move Mitchell point guard. So they have the depth at the guard. I'm honestly, I don't think it's a gargantuan drop off. I'm not as worried as everyone else is. And by the way, this is not an extra small Gatorade. This is my microphone. So sorry.
I got an extra.
If that's not
I
clear.
got an extra small Gatorade right here. But now listen.
Oh, okay.
All right. So here's the deal. If Gatorade wants to sponsor us, I'm in. But I have a berry here. Cool Blue is the best Gatorade. I don't care what anybody else says. That's my Gatorade. Cool Blue. In on
and
cool
yes,
Blue.
This is a Michael Vick jersey for those asking earlier. This is Michael Vick. I'm a big Michael Vick fan. So, and
Shout
yes,
out.
I have 2 dogs. So I love dogs. Every single time I wear a Michael Vick jersey anywhere, everyone's like, "Do you hate dogs?" I'm like, "No, I love dogs. I just like Michael Vick as well. You can be both." So, all right.
By the way, Cool Blue, Cool Blue, Cool Blue, Cool Blue. Yes, Cool Blue.
Okay, Joe, I want to move on to the next series. Brooklyn Nets and Toronto Raptors. Now, the Nets were a fun little story. They played Portland super hard. This is a whole nother animal, okay? Toronto's a gargantuan favorite in the series, minus 2,200. Listen, there's no, you know me, I don't do parlays, right? I don't do parlays. They're not a big thing. I think that Toronto -3, okay, -3 in the series, which is minus 178, is about as good as parlay piece as you can find. Honestly, the Raptors are going to win this game win the series in 4 or 5. Now, gas for a game, so I like to give teams a game here or there. The Raptors in 5 games is as good of a bet as you can find. So I think they sweep them, but give yourself a little edge. Take -3. It's minus 178. Find something else you like, parlay it. How rare is that for me to like something in the parlay? But I'm telling you, the Raptors -3, minus 178 is a fantastic parlay piece. Putting it out there.
I was going to say, when it comes to that series, is it, what'd you say in Raptors in 5 or 6?
Raptors in 4 or 5. To me, I do think that they're going to come out a little flat here. Game 1, I actually think the 9.5 is a good line. To be perfectly honest with you, I do. So
I agree with that one. I would, I think the Raptors either sweep, win in 5.
Right, exactly. So to me, the minus 178 is a pretty safe play. Instead of getting too risky with the sweep. If you want to be risky, go for the sweep. But I think that I think that the minus 178 as a parlay piece is really good. And I'm going to give you the second parlay piece to get later. Okay? I will give you the second parlay piece.
The Raptors have been so good in the under, while the Nets have been very good in the over in this restart. Now, the reason with Brooklyn is they're just throwing out whoever they can. LeVert. What's the guy's name who's scoring all those damn points?
Jared Allen has been very good for them.
He's been pretty good for them. But overall, though, like they just put up points because they suck defensively, and they have so many possessions because of that. I don't know. I feel like in this case, Toronto is going to dictate the pace of the game, and I'd look at some unders in that series.
I think that's fair. I think if you're looking towards an under, Joe, I may look at a team total under instead of a full game under, because Toronto is the type of team that can run away with it, especially late. Or, maybe a type of team you're looking first half instead of full game. 222 is the total for Monday, for tomorrow. I would stay away from the total. I lean Brooklyn plus 9.5. I do. My guess is you'll see maybe some rest at the end of the game, for some of these guys, and you'll see Brooklyn, kind of get back into it. I think there's a reason it's 9.5, and so I would do that. By the way, we didn't touch on the Jazz Nuggets game line for game 1. The Jazz are plus 4.5 in that game. I'm strongly considering playing that. I am, but with Conley out, I want to see how they do without Conley. So I'm not going to play it, but the plus 4.5 is very interesting to me personally. And I'm not going to touch the Nets 9.5, but that would be the way I would lead.
Okay, cool. And this, what else we have for tomorrow? 70. We'll get into 76 Celtics in a minute, but Mavericks, Clippers, dude. The Mavs were really bad in the startup, man. They were like so bad.
How good were the Clippers though? Like let's be serious. How good the Yankees are up 2-1, by the way. Kevin Pillar just hit a dawn, so need the Yankees maybe to get to a couple insurance on here. But what I will say is we hit, you and I hit on the Clippers under 5.5 wins, Joe Murray. We hit on that.
Right,
so I don't really want to sit here and tell you that this is going to be an easy series. I think the Clippers are going to advance. I think Clippers are going to have their hands full with the Mavericks. I really do. The Mavericks have a hard time closing out games. And so, at the end of the game, there's going to be some issues there, in my opinion. I think if you're asking me to think that the Clippers are going to walk through this series, I think you're wrong. I think Porzingis is a terrible matchup for everyone on that roster. I think Doncic, unless he's guarded by Kawhi, is a terrible matchup for everyone on that roster, with the exception of maybe Pat Beverly. I got to say, I think the Mavericks are going to have more success than we think here. I really do. Now, the total is at 230. I think that is really, really, really high. Me personally, I think that's high. So I'm going to go PP game 1. Mavericks Clippers under 230. I do think that is just too high of a total. I think both teams can play good defense. I mean, again, Kawhi, Pat Bev, you're going to – and even Zubac is good defensively, although I don't think he matches up well versus Porzingis. I do think that the under in game 1 is a good play, especially with these teams feeling each other out. We know the classic LeBron says, the LeBron saying, game 1's a feel-out game, yada, yada, yada bullshit. So what I'm going to tell you is I'm not going to go crazy here, but I do like the under in game 1. In terms of the series, I think the Clippers are going to struggle. I think you're going to see this series go 5 or 6 at least.
I'm going to take the Clippers in 6.
Okay, Clippers in 6. Now, what do you think about the line tomorrow? The spread is 6. I have no interest in the spread, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think the under is the way to go.
Yeah, I do too. And I think the 6 is pretty much on dot. I would not be shocked if there's a backdoor by Dallas there. Would not be shocked. Just putting that out there.
And I know the one thing I will say about Dallas is they put up a ton of points, but they can't close out games, man. And it's not a Luka Doncic thing. It's not. This isn't a hot take. They blow leads, dude. Like remember that Rockets restart, man? Like what happened there? I know they played 7 other games, but I'm just using that one in particular,
Oh no, absolutely. I think there was a thing about them being the team that lost. I think it was like 20 or so. It was something stupid. They are leading the league in most losses by less than 5 points. And so they just cannot close games. They just can't do it. And by the way, if you want to wait on that total, feel free. I can't obviously because we're doing the podcast now, so I have to give the line. But yeah, I would not be surprised if that total goes up to 233, 234 tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me at all. We have to go with what's available to us right now. And so to me, it's under 230.
All right, so looking at the series for the Celtics and the 76ers, so here's the deal. Ben Simmons not playing is a huge deal. And it's not so much the offensively or whatever he does. It's just the fact that he can match up on anybody on the Celtics. You can put him, and that's the biggest loss for them. But the one thing the 76ers have, dude, and I actually looked this up this year. So I'll just start off by saying I think the Celtics win the series. I think they win it in 5 or 6, okay? I'm probably going to bet on them to win in 6. If it goes to a 7, I'll be upset. But overall, I think the issues for the Celtics this year, and they went 0-3 against them, but their length was a problem for the Celtics. They shot 42% from the inside the paint, dude. 32% from inside the paint and like 36% from the three-point line. Or from in, I think I'm trying to think of what the number. No, it was 28% from the 3-point line. So like they've struggled because of the longer defensemen that are in front of them. The way the Celtics were playing at the end here, those extra passes are going to keep them open. They don't have defenders. They're long, but they don't have defenders that can keep up with those guys if they pass the extra basketball. Not to mention, you might have to look inside a little bit more to try to get Embiid and maybe pull Horford away from the basket a little bit. I think what they're going to do here is put Horford on Tatum, and I think that's a fucking terrible decision. But we'll see what happens. The Celtics aren't a great rebounding team. You might see Cantor in there a little bit more. I want Robert Williams to play a little bit, but he's not a great rebounder. We know he can play offensively. Overall here, the way the Celtics are playing right now, they should win this series in 5 or 6 games. And I want to see Kemba Walker get to the basket. He struggled in the regular season playing this team. So if I'm looking at it long term, I think the Celtics are the better playing team. They're shooting the ball better, but they have struggled this year against that team.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Celtics absolutely should win this series. It should be in 5 or 6. It wouldn't shock me if it went 6 or 7. Here's the thing about Ben Simmons. We do make fun of him for not scoring in the playoffs, and I do think that's a part of the game that's rather embarrassing. He needs to score more, and he can be a dominant player at times. What Ben Simmons does is he matches up against every team's best player defensively. So with the Celtics, that's Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, depending on who's hotter. By the way, I'm pretty sure Massa just gave up a long dong, 4-1 Yankees. Woo! That was a long dong. My God, Luke Voigt.
Long dong.
Mike Ford.
Dong.
Mike Ford with a fucking charge into that one. My God. Okay. Getting back to the Celtics. Simmons is the best defender. Maybe. I know that sounds crazy, but he led the league this year in time defending first-team All-NBA players, second-team All-NBA players, and All-Stars. So Ben Simmons is the team's best defensive player. I know everyone thinks is Joel Embiid. Now, without Simmons, I still think Joel Embiid is the biggest danger to the Celtics. They don't have anyone who's a really good matchup for him. Don't tell me it's Marcus Smart. By the way, they're just smacking Mazza around. This should be like 6-1 already. He's lucky.
Is it Mazza or Mazza?
I don't give a fuck.
Is it Maz?
He's a gas can. So
what a fucking joke, right? Joke.
He's a gas can. But anyways, getting back.
I wonder. No, seriously. Wait a second, dude. They gotta start like calling us off the street, right?
You maybe. I think my arm's a little sore.
I got a fucking curve, dude. I could throw a curve. Like if you need a fat guy to pitch,
you got
I'll
a curve.
do it.
You got a fastball. You got a little movement.
We
need a fucking David Wells up there.
If I pitched to Gleyber Torres, he would sit on my curveball and fucking launch it to like. He'd launch that shit, actually.
Of course.
I'm not helping.
By the way, first 5 team total for the Yankees in now 4 straight. And the Yankees team total I saw listed at some places this morning was 4.5. It got up to 5.5. So what I'm telling you is, they're so bad.
And some dude said he's up to $200 betting $10 and $20. So I congratulations, you're beginning better. I could never bet on anything for $10 or $20.
Hey, no, listen, he's building his bankroll.
Yeah, build that bankroll.
Yo, Cade, good job. I appreciate you listening. We'll build you up until a Joe Murray size bankroll.
See, I don't want to be compared to Rich Garson. Like, give me like Bobby Jenks. Who else?
No, I'll take.
Give me like another fat pitcher.
You want me to take Garson?
Like people are going to say, "Oh, David Wells and Rich Garson."
David Wells. Okay.
I want like another.
How about Bartolo Colon?
I will take a Bartolo. I would.
Okay.
I would take Bartolo. Bartolo throws gas, dude. The Red Sox should sign Bartolo Colon. The fuck are they doing?
In. I mean, he's better than these gas cans.
The guy throws fucking gas and he's entertaining.
All right, let's go back to. We
got distracted.
It's fine. This is another deep ball. Well, at least he caught it this time. All right. So here's what I'll say about the Celtics and with Embiid. Marcus Smart cannot guard Joel Embiid. Please don't try and feed me that bullshit. It's not Smart is one of the best defensive players in the league, but he can't do that. Maybe Simmons, not Embiid. So that's not going to work. You're going to have to throw Robert Williams and, and Tice, and it's going to be a struggle. It really is going to be a goddamn struggle, defending him. So the Sixers are going to take a game or two here. It's going to happen. Al Horford knows how this team plays. The size of the team is a problem. It's a real problem. But Tatum, Brown, those guys should win out, should be talented enough. Kemba playing 25, 30 minutes a night should be good enough. Marcus Smart playing defensively against these guys. I think Smart will be absolutely fucking key off the bench for the Celtics, honestly. He's so important for them off the bench. The Celtics series price is $420. I think that's too far. I'd make them about $350. I think you're probably getting a little value on Philly now at $335. I wouldn't take it just because there's value doesn't mean you should always take it, but there's definitely value on Philly. 5.5. Game one, I'd probably go Philly with the 5.5. Honestly, I don't think they're going to win, but I do think that they're going to be good. I do think this is going to be a very close game. I take the 5.5 for Philly. The over is 218.5. I would lean under. I'm not going to play either one of these, but I would lean under. Should be a good defensive game early. But yeah, I do think this one's going 5, 6, 7. This is not going to be a sweep. It's not. I'd be surprised if it went 7, but this is not going to be an easy walk through series. I think Embiid's going to be really, really good, and the Sixers are going to be tough.
If Embiid's healthy, but dude, what we're going to see here, I just want to just give me 1 minute on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Celtics fans, Jason Tatum's a good player. He's not a star yet. Jaylen Brown's a very good player, and he's might be your best all-around player. Okay, Tatum's going to be your best player.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I do not agree with that.
No, Tatum's going to be their best player, right? We agree on that, right? No, you don't agree that Tatum's. I think Tatum will be their best player.
Going to be? Yes. He's going to be their best player.
Yeah.
But
saying, who do you think's their best two-way player?
Jaylen Brown is.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay. So no, but what I'm saying is, I don't.
What I'm trying to say is
Jason Tatum is a star in this league. Absolutely.
I think he's a star in this league. But what I'm trying to say is Joel Embiid is a real star in this league.
Yeah, he's a superstar. I think there's a difference between stars and superstars.
He is going to get calls in this game.
Yeah, Jason Tatum will not get calls. Jaylen Brown will not get calls. Those guys will not get calls for the Celtics. But Jason Tatum is a legitimate 25 to 30 point star player, and he is going to be an absolute superstar in this league. And I think Jaylen Brown is too, by the way.
I think Jaylen Brown is too. Listen, my comparable for Jason Tatum is Paul George. If he's Paul George, he's a damn good player.
I think he's better. I think he's better.
And you know what, Dan? The way that he was drafted and the way he's playing, he should be, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying is, if he is Paul George, you got an all-star who's a damn good player. The Celtics need Tatum to be better than that.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll get further into it. Let's continue on to the series. Tuesday, we have the Orlando Magic and Milwaukee Bucks. So,
oh jeez, I feel like every game's going over the total.
So we don't have series spreads on these yet, right? The series spread is not up on these yet. Milwaukee wins in 5. That's my guess. They're going to take their foot off the gas like they did last year against Orlando and lose one. And, everyone's going to panic about it. I think Milwaukee wins in 5. I really do. And I think that it's going to be impressive, but it's not going to be the downright shit show that everyone thinks it's going to be. That's my honest opinion. So I'm going with the over 225 in game 1 PP over 225 between the Bucks and Magic.
I'm in on that. I'll match it. Yep. Let's do it. Double PP.
There you go. Double PP.
Giannis is going to go to the line 25 times. He's going to go to the line 25 times. Middleton's going to hit like 93s. Robert Lopez, No, Robin and his brother Brooke. They're gonna combine for 20. The two of them. What else gonna happen? Yeah, the thing's going over.
Not to mention Jonathan Isaac. And Jonathan Isaac is out, and he is the Magic's best defensive player, without a question. He can guard interior. He can guard the perimeter. He is the best defensive player. So that to me is it's a big problem for Orlando. Absolutely.
I find it so funny whenever you talk about players in the Celtics. People get so butthurt, dude. Like Tatum's good. He's a star. Yes, he's not a superstar yet. People yet.
No.
Yet. No. You know what? If he fucking has a hell of a tournament here. I'm going to call it a bubble tournament. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The guy will be good. Okay. Sorry, Dan. These little guys come at me. You just want to just be accurate. I know everyone loves the Celtics.
Yeah. Jason Tatum is not a superstar yet. He's not going to get the superstar call.
He's a great player.
He's not in the same level as Joel Embiid yet. And that's okay to say. It doesn't mean he won't be. Jason Tatum is going to be an elite dominant player in this league for a very long time.
Yes.
Very long time.
Okay, Heat and Pacers. The Pacers blew out the Heat the other day.
Yes, they did.
The Heat are favored now.
Yeah, so the Heat are big favorites, minus 325 in the series. Everyone's going to be on Indiana after the ass whooping that they put on Miami. They had a scary injury with Derrick Jones Jr. The Heat, to me, are one of the teams that just come at you in waves, in literal waves. They are an incredible, fantastic three-point shooting team. Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic is off the bench. Tyler Herro is off the bench. Andre Iguodala is off the bench. Jay Crowder, who again, I know everyone in Boston thought he was the most amazing player in the world. He wasn't. He was an okay player off the bench. Kelly Olynyk off the bench. Like they are 10 to 11 deep in fucking Miami. They're a good team. What I'm going to tell you right now is Indiana's going to have a hard time with them. They play really good defense when Jimmy Butler's in there. Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be a loss. You're going to see Jay Crowder probably start at the 4. Andre Iguodala is going to pick up the minutes there too. Bam Adebayo is on the brink of superstardom as well. Very similar to Jason Tatum. To me, if you take the Pacers in the series, I think you're going off what you've seen lately. And I think that while TJ Warren has been really, really fun, and he's been a really fun bubble story and everything, over a 7-game series, that's going to rapidly decline. Offensively, that team is going to rapidly decline. I would be stunned if Miami lost to Indiana. I would take the Heat in 5. I think this is and I'm going to think I'm crazy. I think Miami's much deeper in the playoffs. The rotation matters. They rested their guys down the stretch. They got healthier. Give me Miami. Give me Miami in 5. So and again, we don't have serious spreads yet, but PP, whatever the Miami Heat are, minus 1.5 games. Give me that.
Dan,
okay, unless it's like 200.
I agree with you. I think people are going to lean on the Pacers play better defense. They do. Guys, this league's about stars. Jimmy Butler's a star. Give me the Heat. I'm not even thinking twice about this one. This is the Heat or nothing here. It just depends on how many games. Now, could it go 7? It could. Jimmy Butler's going to win this series, dude. This is easy. I like the Heat in game 1 too.
Yeah. So Jay Morello just put up a line: minus 1.5, minus 130 for the Heat. Or minus 1.5 games, minus 130. Give me that. Give me that. I'll eat that up. I think the Heat are the most undervalued team in the entire NBA. That is how I feel about them. That's how strongly I feel about them. Now, we're going to see what happens with Derrick Jones Jr. Is he going to come back? How serious was that neck injury? But yeah, I think the Miami Heat are a really, really good basketball team, and I don't want to fucking touch them. By the way, minus 3.5 in game 1, easy. Fuck that PP. Miami Heat minus 3.5. Give me that. I'm going to take the Heat. I think they're going to win going away, assuming that everyone's playing, which I assume since the playoffs they will be. But yeah, I very much and very, very strongly for the Heat. Joe, we have a little bit of time left, so let's move on quickly to the Thunder. Thunder Rockets. This is going to be probably one of the most competitive series with Jazz series, the Jazz Nuggets. This is going to be an incredibly competitive series. Thunder open at plus 155. They're down to plus 130, plus 135 different places in the series. Houston's going to be out with without Russell Westbrook for a few games here. In game one, Oklahoma City is the favorite, minus 1.5, money line minus 125. I want nothing to do with this game. Straight up nothing. I think you're going to see a ton of people on the over because it's 225. It's low. Without Westbrook, the Rockets play at a much slower pace. They play a little bit bigger. So I think that should slow down the pace. So I'd actually look under, if anything, but I don't want in on it. And for the series, I'm going to tell you, I really don't know where to go. I would avoid this one altogether. I think it's a fucking toss-up. I really do. I think Westbrook, if he can come back and play near 95, 100%, the Rockets will win the series. But without that, they're going to struggle real badly with Paul and Gilgeous-Alexander. Really, really bad. I wouldn't go anywhere near this series. And if I'm you, I'm staying away to at least game 3 in terms of the totals and spreads.
So I just feel like the Rockets have to win based off of, like, if you look at who wins the championship, the Rockets have almost the same amount of odds as the Celtics. And I know Vegas isn't always right? Or they're close to being right. I think the Rockets advance, but I was impressed with Oklahoma City in the startup. And Adams, dude, right? Like he's gonna get like 20 rebounds a game. And Chris Paul, dude, versus former team. Throw that in there as well.
Yep, I mean,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I mean that's real. And again, apologies if you didn't hear. My connection is bad because I'm at the Sports Hub right now. But I'll reset. Series is going to be super tight. Chris Paul, SGA, without Westbrook, I think are going to eat up. The Rockets guards. Harden's going to have a hard time covering those guys. I like it to be super close series. I would avoid it altogether. Without Westbrook, I think it's too hard to pick this series. I would stay away. Honestly, I think that this is a stay away. I think if you're looking for another upset, this is it. But I'm staying the fuck away. Honestly. But if you're looking at Steven Adams rebounds props or game 1 and game 2, value. You can get some value there. Really, you can. Joe, let's move on to the final series and one that probably I want to talk the most about, the Blazers-Lakers. I've already been taking bets from people this week on the Blazers, people who really think the Blazers are going to win. I want an honest opinion. If you're in the group chat right now and you think the Blazers can win, I want you to tell me. I want you to take your money and I want you to fucking light it on fire because you had no fucking chance. None. I think LeBron James doesn't give a fuck about the regular season. He clinched the number 1 seed. They need 2 wins? He didn't give a fuck. That team didn't care. That team didn't try. And the Blazers could barely beat the Memphis Grizzlies and the Nets. The Lakers may lose game 1 because, as LeBron always likes to say, it's a feel game, which in my opinion is him saying, I'm going to throw the game so I can get some money. And by the way, do not let anyone ever tell you, ever, that LeBron James does not bet and does not fix games. That's a lie. LeBron James has a group of cronies in Vegas who he fixes games with. 1,000%, believe me or not, I don't give a fuck what you think. It's 100% true. Okay?
Again, in the offseason, we should do just a pod about that.
Oh, we will. Oh, down. I actually can get someone on to talk about that.
All right, let's do that.
So yes, I can get someone on to discuss that with us. Who has some information about that. What I can say is, if the Lakers go down 1-0, just fucking hammer the series price. For the love of God. LeBron James and the Lakers are going to fucking dismantle the Portland Trail Blazers. Let me ask you guys a serious question. Who on the Portland Trail Blazers can defend LeBron James? And if any of you guys say Carmelo Anthony, go fuck yourself. Honestly.
No, the only guy they have is Gabriel, and he's not strong enough.
No, sorry, that was a nice play by Bogey there. Dude, they don't have anyone who can guard LeBron. And I'm going to go as far to say I don't think Nurkic can cover Anthony Davis. Now, Whiteside can absolutely play him inside. 1,000%.
Whiteside's fallen. He sucks.
Defensively, he's still a good player inside. Yeah. So I'm going to say that inside, Whiteside can play LeBron inside. 100%. There's no question about that. Who's guarding Anthony Davis on the perimeter on that team? Who? No one. No big on that team is a good enough perimeter defender. Nurkic gets picked constantly. Whiteside's too slow. No goddamn chance. And if you say LeBron James can't take over a series anymore, wrong. The guy was the MVP this year. You can all sit there and say it was Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're wrong. LeBron was the best player in the NBA this year, bar none. He was the best player in the NBA this year. You guys are wild if you guys don't think that, okay? Wild. Seriously. LeBron James is going to dominate this team. He's going to, for a lack of a better term, shit down the Portland Trailblazers' throat. Game time is not going to be a thing. The Portland Trailblazers barely beat the Brooklyn Nets in a playoff do-or-die game and then couldn't cover against the Memphis Grizzlies when the refs called 15 more fucking free throws for the Blazers. 15. That's the difference in the game right there, folks. 15 free throws for the Blazers. The Grizzlies, how many free throws did they get in the fourth quarter? Two free throws. 2. You guys are fucking wilding out. Absolutely not. If you have the Lakers series, I know it's high. If you don't want to lay a minus 420, I get it. I don't blame you, dude. I don't get it. But for the love of God, it's free money. Put it in as many parlays as you want. The Lakers are not losing this series. The Lakers are going to win in 4 or 5. This is easy money. And for anyone who disagrees, good luck. I'm not going to touch the spread on game 1, as I told you. Wouldn't shock me if LeBron threw game 1, not even a little bit. I believe that the NBA is rigged. Would not shock me if that happened, 100%. Not a goddamn chance. The referees and LeBron James let the Lakers go out in round 1 when they have a chance to win the NBA Finals. If you really believe that, you are fucking crazy. And Wayno, you are. I read the second part of that topic. Okay, fair enough. I almost lost my shit on you. You're funny. I'll give you that. That was a good one. But for the love of God, the Lakers, free money. I'm going to be taking the Lakers in literally everything. Series spreads -2.5, -1.5, whatever. Give me the Lakers. They're going to fucking roll this team. Roll them. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be an absolute beatdown. 5 games max. 5 games.
All right, Dan, I got to go in a minute here.
Yep.
I'm doing a wrestling podcast, so I'm sorry. That's why I'm out. I have the Clippers winning the whole thing.
Yeah. What I would tell you is the Lakers are going to win. Lakers are going to win the whole thing. LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
So you have the Lakers, and I have the Clippers.
Yep, we do.
So and then when it comes to them and playing, we'll go game by game by game, and I'll hedge in the end if I have to.
Okay. Jay Pavo, you don't watch basketball. Simple as that. Simple as that. You don't watch enough basketball. You're watching too much Celtics. So I'm going to straight up tell you that. Yeah, but that's all I'm going to say. You straight up, you guys are off the rocker if you want to do that. I will give you any odds you want on the Portland Trailblazers that are within reason right now. You DM me.
Here's what I suggest. How long are you working until tonight, Dan?
11 p.m.
Okay, Dan is going to be at the studio till 11 o'clock tonight. My suggestion is to tweet Dan Lifshatz at Dan Lifshatz. DM him if you'd like, if you're allowed to.
Yeah, my DMs are always open.
Ask all your questions there. He's pretty fired up tonight.
Fair enough. The Lakers overrated. You guys are crazy. The Clippers
are not overrated.
Were the worst team in the bubble. Really, outside of the Wizards, they were the worst team in the bubble. Under 5.5 wins was the easiest bet ever. You guys
listen. I've never seen Anthony Davis play the way he's playing right now, and he's healthy. I'm being honest. The reason why I'm taking the Clippers is that's who I've stuck with. I'm sticking with him, man. I'm sticking with him.
I had LeBron James. I had the Lakers at the beginning of the year. I'm sticking with them. So,
all right, Dan. We can read all the we can read everything. If you want to go back and read all the
plenty of PPs in this podcast. If you didn't hear them all, go back and listen. Yeah, we give out plenty of plays.
Dan, tomorrow, dude, I'm out at 10, and I'm ready to roll, kid. I'm going to be sending out halftime bets.
There you go. Second half.
Yes. Hey, I want to. Can we keep track on those?
What do you mean?
I send a lot of second half bets.
Yep. Yeah, just if you post them to your Twitter or text them to me, I'll put them in the tracker.
I want to say I think they're like 56%.
I don't know.
Dude, there are
So how about
times
this?
where I've
I
won
will
like 6 in a row. You know what I mean? Like
I'll track your second halves in the playoffs. Sound good? Just specifically those. So
all right, he is Dan Lifshatz. Tweet him at Dan Lifshatz. He's at the studio all night. Hell, you know what? You might as well call it. No, don't call.
no. I'm not picking up that phone. Don't call me. Don't do it.
I called him now.
Don't do it.
Miss Cleo. All right, I gotta go, Dan. I will talk to everybody in the morning on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We have the Razor on tomorrow. Andrew Raycroft.
Nice.
He's going to give his thoughts on Tuukka Rask.
Hopefully, Raycroft sacks up and gives a good take because I'm a big fan of Raycroft.
Put him on the spot.
Don't fail me. Do not fail me, Raycroft. Don't do it.
All right. He's Dan Lifshatz. I'm Joe Murray. This has been a special playoff edition of Over Under 985.
Who you got, boys? See ya.
All right. See ya.